One of the first ways that we shift our reality is to learn to trust ourselves. Um, a lot of times when we have gone through a soul awakening or a spiritual awakening, and we're moving through all of the processes of the inner healing, and then we're like, we probably have experienced some kind of major shift in our life, or possibly we are sitting again at a plateau in a place where we're like, now what? Now what do I do? Because, or we're stuck in a place we don't want to be, or a job we don't want to be, because our consciousness has shifted and we feel like we're trapped. The only way that we're going to be free from this is to become a sovereign creator. You can work in an old, if you're able to work within the same dynamic that you were, then that's fine if you can navigate that. But a lot of people are just sick of it. They don't want to be around that same energy. They just want to leave and move on with their life. But what it comes down to is being able to trust ourselves, to know that what if we never had a business? Because the only way to become a sovereign creator is really to own your own business. Um, I share this because I was a business owner for most of my life, actually since I was about 13 years old. I went through years, 25 years of business ownership in different things, and then I experienced a massive spiritual awakening. My whole world fell apart, to put it shortly, to put it bluntly, for many years. And every time I started to thought I was going to create something, then everything would shift again, and I'd have to like get destabilized again. And this went on for at least, gosh, last like 11 years. It was crazy. And but then we can get stuck in the, this is where we can get stuck. There's three ways we can get stuck. And the first one is not trusting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, feeling that we just don't know enough, or we couldn't do that, if we couldn't become our own sovereign creator. The second way is we get stuck looping and healing. There's just an endless cycle of analyzing and inner inflection, reflection, rather than actually we getting stuck in that just a state of being in more maybe a flow state, which is fine, but then we need to take action, and there's a block there, and it's sometimes it is to do with needing encouragement, or needing guidance, or needing a community that will surround you, that so you don't feel alone, because we don't create alone. We do in our own way, but then being able to reflect with others and community is really helpful. And the third way we can really get stuck in is with our fears of, how do we maintain our life while we are making the transition? Why, so we're stuck in this information gathering stage, and then the other fear is, well, how do I shift from to survive in this transition, to be able to actually survive, and to build slowly, and that is extremely important, because we have to feel safe. Money is a frequency, and if this is what I've learned through my processes, is I didn't trust myself to even stabilize. I wanted to keep moving and moving because it was actually a way to keep myself um, from building again because of the fears that I had from my past, where I lost everything. And I will share that more of that in my story in my community, which I'll put a link in the description, and you can join in if you'd like. But I'm going to share more about my story and what led me to become what I'm now, a sovereign creator, and dive deep into operating in the private. Because a lot of my story in the past was about loss, about government regulations, and lost relationships, and operating in a way that was in force and according to what we're taught and according to what we're operating from a patriarchal force, and without giving ourselves grace and ease and nervous system regulation to balance self-love and self-worth, and slowness and ease, along with the survival mechanisms that we have been placed on us. And what if you could remove yourself from all of the regulations, all of the stipulations that the government has placed on us, to create in a place of freedom, rather than worrying about all of these laws and regulations and licenses, and especially if you are a working in the holistic field or natural health, or anything, that's outside of the norm, what they consider societal's norms, which is what I do as well. So there is a way to change in your trajectory. I'm learning through my own processes, because of I know how to run a business. I've been in business for years, but to operate in a way that is not going in and just expecting everything to happen overnight, to move fastly, but to more step back and regulate. And only I would say the other thing that with me was my age. I am 57, and so there's been a lot of fears about, I'm too old, or do I have the ability any longer to compete with all of the technology and AI. And what I have learned is that we really can still operate without all of that, or learn a little bit, enough to make it by, but to build in a way that's more personal, to go back to the way we don't have to conform. We don't have to conform to what's being pushed on us. We can still operate from ease and from abundance from within, that will give us the ability to be abundant. We be abundant in a way, and that we can create our life in freedom, as opposed to trying to accumulate more and more and operate from these outside the control structures. So if you're interested in learning more, my community is Quantum Detanglement. It is about detangling the web of illusions that we have been brought up in, and we have maybe believed about ourselves, to become the creators that we are here to be. We are emanations of the divine light, but we're also grounded in this earth. We are here now, and we are here to create a new way, even through all of the perceived traumas and stress and insanity that's happening in the world. If we just learn to shift our frequency, shift our focus, let go of the illusions beyond the veil, we are free to focus on what it is we're creating. And that is where the quantum field operates. We have to become that frequency, align with that frequency, and then create from that frequency. So if you're interested in joining my community, the link is in the description. And if you want to learn more about sovereign creatorship, business building in the private, detangling the quantum fields of what's keeping us held back, and our belief systems, and even in health, our health issues, our health. I've been a holistic wellness practitioner for many years, and I'm bringing this community together to co-create together, and so that we can help support each other as we move into this new earth frequency. Aloha, have a beautiful day.